Hey team, so on today's Coach Corner we're going to talk about compound exercises versus isolation exercises, the benefits of them, what they are, and how we kind of use them in a program. So how are compound exercises defined? So a compound exercise is an exercise that targets multiple muscles within one movement. So this could be something like a squat or a deadlift or even a lunge. And then we have isolation exercises, and that is a single muscle movement typically, or a single area movement, and that could be something like a bicep curl or a leg extension. So what are the benefits of a compound movement? Because it targets more muscles in one go, we get more bang for our buck in our training. So in the same time it takes us to do a bicep curl in an isolation exercise, we can target multiple movements in that same time frame doing a compound movement. And then in the other side of things, you can lift a heavier load, and lifting a heavier load is going to create more stress on the muscle, causing hypertrophy adaptations, strength adaptations, and more often in sports we see compound movements being used to perform movements. So it has that transferable effect into this. So what are the benefits of isolation exercises? So although they only target one muscle group at a time, they're great for rehab movements if you have areas of needing improvement. They're good for symmetry. So if you have one muscle that's underdeveloped compared to another muscle, we can start to work on that individual muscle group. So again, that kind of falls a bit more into the rehab category as well. It also is good for hypertrophy on certain movements. So say you're a footballer and kicking is your go-to. So then doing an isolation movement where we're targeting our quads more, and that's extension of the knee, then doing an isolation movement like a leg extension will be very sport specific for that, and we can increase the hypertrophy and strength in that one limb. So what's our best practice for utilizing both elements of this within our program? If we take the isolation exercise and we were to program that first in our workout, that's then going to tire us out before doing one of the more taxing exercises like the squat or the deadlift later in the program. So the better approach for this in our programs would be to start with our compound movements and then move on to our isolation movements later in the workout. But that doesn't mean to say isolations at the start don't benefit us, because sometimes isolations may be a better approach at the start for rehab purposes, as I mentioned before. And if that rehab is a priority for you, then doing something that's going to activate the muscle more individually before doing the compound movement may actually benefit us in the long term. Okay, so for the most part, I would recommend doing compounds first and then isolations second. But there are times where you do need to do isolations first, or they do have a benefit. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.